If we want to repeat parts of our code, but we don't know how many times we'll be repeating it for, we can use indefinite iteration. Python handles indefinite iteration with while loops. When would you want to use a while loop? You might want to ask a user for input and keep asking them over and over until the input is valid. Or maybe you're writing code for a game and you want to keep moving the player forward a little bit over and over again while the player holds down the arrow key. Let's take a look at while loops in Python. With while loops, the number of iterations or loops isn't specified ahead of time. The while loop executes a block of code over and over again while a given condition is true. Remember that we covered Boolean operators in the conditionals topic, so you can always review them there. This while loop prints out the numbers from 0 to 99. Let's look at each part of the syntax. First, it starts with the while keyword. Then, we have a conditional expression that needs to be true in order for Python to run the next block of code. This expression will be true when our variable counter is less than 100, so any number up to 99. After that, we indent the code block underneath to tell Python that each line here is part of the while loop. Python will interpret this while loop by checking if the value of counter is less than 100. If it is, Python will print and increment the value. When the value reaches 100, Python will interpret the while loop as false and continue on to any code below. Let's look at an example in the code editor. Here, we want to keep asking the user for a number until they give us a value between 1 and 10. If we enter a number above 10, like 15, you can see that the while loop is initiated and we're asked to pick a different number. If we pick a number, maybe a negative number, still asking us, we're still in that while loop. Now if I pick a number between 1 and 10, say 5, we got the number that we wanted. The expression in the while loop is false because the number isn't outside of our range, and we print it out. So far, both of our examples execute all of the code in the body of the while loop when the condition is true. But sometimes we only want to execute some of the code. Python gives us 2 keywords for that. Continue will skip part of the loop and jump back to the top. Break, on the other hand, will exit the loop and jump to the next line of code after the while loop code block. Why would we want to use these keywords? In Python, we can create infinite loops by replacing the logical condition with the true keyword. This while loop will run infinitely until we stop the program. This is a really common pattern in video games. We want to loop the game code forever until the user wants to exit. To exit an infinite loop, we can use the break keyword once the condition is met, like the user saying that they want to stop the program. During this course, you'll get a chance to build a Python chatbot that holds a conversation by using an infinite while loop to repeat pieces of code. So make sure you get lots of practice using while loops in the next exercise.